Yes lads, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today, boys and girls, I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester versus Slavia Prague match preview. So the boys and girls, after a fantastic result last time out in Premier League action, Leicester secured another dub in Premier League action, as of course we beat Aston Villa 2-1 away from home. Beautiful scenes from Leicester as we get another win in Premier League action. Of course, Europa League is now our attention as we take on Slavia Prague in the second leg of the round of 32. Of course, it ended 0-0 in the first leg last Thursday night. So yeah, this leg is very important, and overall it's probably our biggest game of the season so far, as on Thursday night we take on Slavia Prague at the King Power Stadium. So that being said, in today's video I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester versus Slavia Prague match preview. I'll run for the Slavia Prague side of things, my thoughts on the game, my prediction, but also my score prediction for Thursday's huge game in the Europa League and Leicester's biggest game of the season so far. But just before getting to all of that, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video if you guys are going to enjoy today's video, as of course I bring you guys the Leicester versus Slavia Prague match preview. So if you guys want to see Leicester get another win on Thursday night in the Europa League action, let us know by dropping a like up the city, and yeah, it's time to beat these Czech Republic farmers, I guess. But yeah, drop a like on the video if you guys are going to enjoy it. Also, subscribe to see my face on the screen before. Of course, we're now well on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that will be massively appreciated. And as always, let me know your thoughts, getting your predictions all in the comment section down below, boys and girls. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking heading into the game. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into talking about Leicester versus Slavia Prague, and let's get straight into the match preview. So then, as always, getting straight into today's match previews. You guys know the drill by now, of course. We're going to start off by talking a bit about Slavia Prague going into the game. As always, it's going to be me talking about Slavia Prague today because, yet again, I didn't really have a clue where to look for a fan. So, yeah, let's speak a bit about Slavia Prague, then the opposition side of things heading into tomorrow's huge game at the King Power. So of course I already went through where Slavia Prague are in the league table last week, and that hasn't changed. Of course, they're still playing in the Czech Republic League, obviously, and they're still top of their league as well. Last time out, though, they did get a 1-1 draw. Don't have a clue of who it was against, but yeah, it was a 1-1 draw for them last night in their league. So yeah, they're coming into this game on decent form. Obviously, we played them only a week ago in the first leg, so we don't really need to update you guys on how they're looking going into the game. Of course, based on that first leg, I was pretty surprised by how they played. I actually thought they were going to sit back, but they actually came out to Leicester, tried and break through us, and they played quite well in that first leg, especially in that second half. So it's going to be another tough one for Leicester. Obviously, just from that first leg, we saw defensively they're quite strong, and going forward, they have a lot of attacking plays as well. So I think they're going to play a similar way. Obviously, Leicester are the home side for this second leg, so they're probably going to sit back and look to counter-attack a bit more. But just as we saw from that first leg, they're quite an attacking side. Going forward, they have a lot of pace out wide, and they're pretty good in midfield as well. Defensively, they're quite hard to break down as well. So yeah, that's about it for Slavia Prague. Hopefully they don't dive just like they did in the first leg, because you know, just looking back on that game, watching the highlights from it, and just watching it itself, yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't have that ref as well, because the amount of times their players dived. Yeah, I'm not going to rant about it too much, because I ranted for about 2 minutes about it in the match reaction last week. But yeah, I guess that's about it about Slavia Prague going into the game. All we need to know that they're playing the Czech Republic League. They got 1-1 draw last time out, and yeah, they dived in the first leg. So hopefully Leicester can get the win, but just like I said, we can't underestimate them because they are a very good side. But yeah, boys, that is it for talking a bit about Slavia Prague. So boys and girls, that is it then for the Slavia Prague side of things. I know it was quite quick, but yeah, who really cares? Let's get into talking a bit about Leicester then heading into Thursday's huge game in the Europa League round of 32. So of course, Leicester go into Thursday night's game off the back of a brilliant win against Aston Villa away from a 2-1 victory. We keep our brilliant form up in Premier League action. Of course, before that we got a good win against Liverpool as well, and obviously in between those two games we of course had the first leg where it was a 0-0. And overall, I think the first leg wise, Leicester weren't the greatest. I think we can still play better than that, and we should be able to get the result. I'm pretty confident that we can do so, but of course Leicester come into the game full of confidence after a good win against Aston Villa away from home. I think that performance against Aston Villa was much more improved than Thursday night's first leg. So hopefully Leicester can just do as well as that, or even better in the leg tomorrow night. But obviously Leicester are going to be without the main man James Maddison. Obviously we'll talk about that a bit later with my predictions, but of course injury FC is back in full effect. But yeah, I think that Villa performance was much better, so hopefully we can improve on that and play just as well as that, because if we play like that, I think we should be able to get the wins. So hopefully we can do that, and hopefully Leicester can get into the round of 60. Of course, from the first leg, I think Leicester fans all know that it's going to be another tough game. Obviously Slavia Prague were very good in that first leg, and we found it difficult to break them down, so it's going to be another tough game. But just like I said, Leicester can play just like we did against Aston Villa, especially in that first half. I think we should be able to break them down because going forward we look very good. The passing was slick and we look back to our best. So if we can put out that, I think we'll be alright. But yeah, it's going to be another tough game on Thursday night. Obviously, Slavia Prague are going to be massively up for it as well because it's probably their biggest game of the season so far. So yeah, it's a huge game on Thursday night. I'm pretty nervous going into it, and hopefully Leicester can turn up. Although Leicester don't really turn up for big games because yeah, we'll probably bottle it. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we can secure another dub on Thursday night. If Leicester can move that ball with high intensity, just play the ball around much more quicker than the first leg, I think we'll be alright. I think that's what we lacked in that first leg. It was a bit too slow, especially in the second half in that first leg. Leicester were quite slow getting the ball forward, and we just relied on lots of Barnes. So if we can move the ball a bit quicker, try and break for the lines of that Slavia Prague defensive midfield, I think we'll be alright. But yeah, we just need to move the ball a bit quicker, hit them on the back foot, and try and break in behind that very solid Slavia Prague defence. Of course, it's going to probably be even stronger on Thursday night. So let's speak about the game then in a bit more detail. So yeah, just like I mentioned, I think Slavia Prague are going to sit back just like they did in the first leg-ish. I think they'll sit back a bit more. Obviously in the first half, they sat back a bit more, but second half wise, Slavia Prague did come on to Leicester. So if it's like 0-0 at half time, they could see them come out a bit more, but obviously that's going to leave space in behind. If we can execute the passing a bit better, we can find that space in behind with the likes of Vardy up front if he does start. But overall, I can see Slavia Prague trying to sit back just in a low block, try and soak up that pressure, and looked at Leicester on the counter-attack, because obviously just like I said earlier on, from that first leg we saw that they got some very pacey players going forward, skillful players who would definitely cause that Leicester defensive problem. So going to be a difficult one, but I think obviously Slavia Prague are going to sit back, and it's just a matter of trying to break them down once again, which of course we did struggle in the first leg. If you play out Villa, I think it'll be alright. So it depends which Leicester turn up, to be honest, boys. But yeah, that's how I can see the game going. It's going to be another tough one, but I think Leicester hopefully will just have enough in the end to get through into the next round. So there was, girls, that is it then for the Slavia Prague side of things and my thoughts heading into the game. So as always, let's move on to my predicted lineup then for tomorrow's huge game. So as always, Leicester, I think we'll go with the 4-3-3 formation. Though we do have a few injuries going into the game, I think we'll stick with a similar formation. So yeah, start off in goal then with Caspar Schmeichel. Of course, it's going to be the big Dane. He was unlucky not to keep a clean sheet last time, in my opinion, but of course kept a clean sheet in the first leg against Slavia Prague. So if you can do that, it's going to be key. Of course, it's the away leg for Slavia Prague. So if they get a goal, we're screwed because we're going to have to score 3 to win it. I think obviously it counts as 2, doesn't it? So yeah, hopefully Caspar needs to keep a clean sheet, because if we don't, it's going to be difficult and we'll probably bottle it. So Caspar may need to have another good game, but I'm fully hopeful that Caspar can do, because obviously Schmeichel is probably one of the best keepers in the Premier League in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully Caspar can have another solid game in there. Moving into the back four then, boys and girls. So yeah, starting at right back, of course, we'll be going with the main man, Ricardo Pereira. Of course, he played at right wing against Aston Villa, but I think in this game he's going to drop back to his usual spot. It's just in that right back position. The reason behind that, I think Ricardo Pereira will be able to deal with the fast wingers as well. And obviously, it's a massive game, so we need to be quite solid defensively, and we can just get rid of some players like Luke Thomas, who, in my opinion, obviously Luke Thomas was fantastic against Villa, but I think in this type of game, the pressure's on. I think we need a bit more experience. But we could see Luke Thomas, but for me, I think Ricardo Pereira will start at right back. Centre back wise then, no changes here. First one being Caspar Schmeichel, of course, fantastic as always against Villa. He's looking back to his best here. Schmeichel first centre back. Alongside Tim, of course, we'll be going with Mr. Consistent, Johnny Evans, of course, very experienced at the European level. He's definitely been involved in some big games like this. Yeah, Evans and Schmeichel, centre back pairing, and at left back we'll go in with Timothy Castagne. Just like I mentioned earlier on, I think Luke Thomas will be benched for the game. I know Luke Thomas was absolutely brilliant against Villa last time, but I think this type of game we need some more experienced defenders. Yeah, Castagne left back, Ricardo right back, Schmeichel, Evans centre back. So that is my back four going into the game. Right, and moving into the midfield three then, boys and girls. So obviously this most recently has been quite easy to predict, but obviously now Madison's injured, Injury FC boys back in full effect, but yeah, we're gonna have to make some changes, because starting off in that CDM role, we'll be going with the best Premier League CDM in world football. He's the best CDM, boys. It's Wilfred and Diddy, of course, the main man. I don't know, that didn't really make any sense, but yeah. And Diddy in that CDM role as always, and Diddy he's the key part of Leicester's side, and without him, Leicester don't look very good at all. So yeah, Diddy in that holding role is going to be very key. Moving ahead then, we'll be going with Youri Tielemans in that box-to-box role. Back to his best against Villa. Hopefully Youri can have another solid game. Lots of people saying Youri may go in a cam role, but for me, I don't think he's going to have the legs to do that. So Tielemans in that box-to-box role. Now into the cam, of course. No Madison. Ian actually suspended. Perez is injured. Pratt's injured. I think for me, it's probably going to be Chengiz under, boys and girls, going into the camera. I know it's not his natural position, but Leicester don't really have any other options. So for me, I think Chengiz under will start in that camera tomorrow. I think it's going to be a big game for Chengiz under this if he does start. And I think he will, because we don't really have too many other options here. Chengiz under to start in that camera, of course, usually on the right, but I think he's got the ability to do so. He's good on the ball. He can take people on, but he needs to track back a bit more. So yeah, would it be under? I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'm going to stick under then in that cam role. And finally then, boys and girls, moving into the front three. So starting off in that left wing position, of course, we'll be going with man like Harvey Barnes. For me, Barnes has to start. He's been on incredible form most recently. Got a goal against Villa. Looked quite good in the first second as well. So hopefully Barnes can have a good performance on that left-hand side. Right-hand side then we'll be going with Mark Albrighton. Obviously under is going to play that camera on my side, so I think Albrighton's definitely going to start on the right-hand side, of course. Didn't play against Villa, of course. Ricardo Pereira came in, but I think Ricardo's going to drop back to full-back. So yeah, that'll be my right wing. It's going to be Mark Albrighton, of course. He's quite a good defensive and allow Ricardo to come forward a bit more as well. And obviously Albrighton can kind of fit in, try kind of track it under as well if under doesn't get back. So Albrighton on the right side, and of course up top we'll be going with the main man, Jamie Vardy. Assist last time out in Premier League action against Villa, so hopefully Vardy can have another good game. But yeah, that'll be my front three then, boys and girls. Let us know what, if you agree with that. If you don't, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, there's going to be a few changes in there. So yeah, boys, let me know what you guys are thinking on that lineup in the comment section down below. So the boys and girls, that is it then for the Slavia Prague side of things. My thoughts game and just then my predicted lineups. As always, ending off these match previews, I'm going to bring you guys my score predictions. So of course, it's must-win for Leicester. It could go to penalties, it could go to extra time. I won't be able to handle penalties, so I hope it doesn't. But for me, I think Leicester will get the win in normal time. I think it's going to be a narrow, a cagey, a nervous 1-0 victory for Leicester. Of course, that would do it. No away goals. So I'm going to narrow 1-0 Leicester tomorrow. I think we're going to just about do it. Goal scorer, I think Barnes will get one late on. It's going to be absolute limbs on the live watch song. But yeah, boys, it's going to be a nervous one. It's going to be a cagey one. It's a big game for Leicester, but I think Leicester will just be able to get the win in the end. It's going to go 1-0. Harvey Barnes score. As always, lads, let me know your score predictions in the comment section down below. So the boys and girls, that is it then for today's video. Of course, in today's video, I bring you guys the Leicester versus Slavia Prague match preview. You guys have enjoyed it. Let us know by dropping a like. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. And as always, let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section down below. Your predictions and your score predictions. Let me know in the comment section down below, boys and girls. But I'll see you all in the live watch along tomorrow. It's going to be a big one, and hopefully Leicester can secure the win. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night, boys. But yeah, I've been Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.